So, quick update on gold. Gold has actually been flying recently. Whatever Jerome Powell was saying in that speech, he's going crazy. I gotta find a better recording thing. All right, take two. So I am currently in this gold position and some gold buys. I'm gonna break down the entirety in depth of how simple this setup is, and what I'm gonna be looking for. So just starting off on a weekly time frame, the higher time frame, weekly and daily time frame is all I need to really know. And when I go down to the lower time frames, the entry is very, very simple. So starting off with gold overall as a whole, gold overall is definitely 110% bullish, especially, and the reason why, especially what's going on with the economy. The US is super weak. Hyperinflation is going to come to pass, just like Revelation talks about in the Bible. Everybody's going away from the dollar. They're switching over to cryptos. Like everything is turning against, is going away from, the dollar being strong, and people are going towards things like gold. And that's why gold has literally been trading bullish for a very, 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 very long time. Like it really started this bullish trend in 2018, and it's still been pushing up since then, especially recently with how weak the economy is, right? So identifying that, knowing that gold is overall bullish, so meaning I would be looking for longer term buys. Prices currently in, this is like a, it's still creating higher highs and higher lows. It's like a ascending triangle, because price is still creating higher lows at its core function. Higher low, right? Higher low, higher. What am I doing? Higher low, and higher low, and this could potentially be another higher low. And me personally, I would classify this. This is like what I personally call it, is like a bread and butter. I'll get to that in a second. But price is creating these higher lows, but it's not creating clear cut defined higher highs, and that is what a ascending triangle does. And more times than not, when price does that, price will have like a break up, a big push up to the upside before potentially gold. A lot of times, if gold has that, gold will keep on going up for an extended amount of time, before even retracing, if it does retrace. So that's one another big influence on this daily time frame. But for me, the bread and butter setup is when price is in a range and price keeps coming to the highs, coming to the highs, coming to the lows, coming to the lows, coming to the highs, coming to the lows, coming to the highs. You can see how price doesn't come back down to this low right here. I've seen more times than not where it doesn't happen all the time, but I've seen more times than not when price does this, it'll break up and go to the upside. So me seeing that, me knowing that, boom, just building more confluences, stacking confluences, stacking confluences. Now, when I look at the current, what's going on, yesterday's daily candle closed as a bullish engulfing candlestick on a daily time frame and a overall uptrend. Add another confluence though, Fibonacci up there. If I can probably put it a little bit lower. Let me put the 61 back. A, B to the high, C 61.8, a bullish engulfing on a 61.8 Fibonacci, and a bullish trend overall. All the confluences I need to. So now when I go down to the lower time frame, all I'm simply looking at is my entry criteria, which only consists of three things. It's very simple. Is price trading at a key area? Is what is the market structure, and candlesticks. So key areas, market structure, candlesticks. All three have to be present in order for me to enter a trade. If one of them is missing, I don't take the trade. So my entry was on the 30-minute time frame. Very simple. And when I looked at it, what I first identified was, what is the trend? Is what is the market structure? Market structure is bullish. Price even, and then on top of that, to add even more extra confluences, my main foundation is always support, resistance, candlesticks, and market structure, like Fibonacci's and the trend line. If I do draw them, it's like extra confluences. But my main confluences are the actual market structure, candlesticks, and the actual key areas. So first things first, market structure is trading bullish. Boom, high, higher low, potential higher, not higher low, higher high, potential higher low right here. Boom. My overall market structure is trading bullish. That's check. Is price trading at a key area? Yes, price was trading at a key area. This is a key area of support. Basically, this entire zone, clear as day. I can even drag it over to the left to see that this is still a clean area. Held as support, held as support, held as resistance. So this is a major key area. So boom, I don't need this anymore because I like to keep my charts as clean as possible. So I have two of them. The last thing that I need is a candlestick entry. And what do I have? This rejection candlestick. So I was looking for either a bullish candlestick or a rejection candlestick, which is this right here. So I have all three confluences. I entered the trade. I entered with three positions, and I'm going to talk about that, why I have three positions right now. So I did have another Fibonacci from A to B. Price came beautifully back down to the 61.8, and the negative 27 extension lines up basically with this high. And what I want to do is scale in and scale out along this position, but have a position running all the way up into the 34 400s. This is going to be like my main TP, way up there, the 34 40s basically. So what I'm going to do here is, if price does come up to this negative 27 extension, what I'll do is secure one of my positions. So boom, if price comes up here, I'll secure a position. Go up here, I'll secure a position. If price gets here and it like starts rejecting, if it keeps on going bullish, I'm gonna hold it. And I'm gonna apply my trade management strategy at my TPs. But if price gets here and it comes up here with a rejection candlestick, then I'll take out one of my positions. And if price comes down, create a higher low, I'm scaling again and do the same thing. Look to target this next resistance range up here, which is basically this high. And then boom, take another position out, let price do its thing, scale back in again, and then boom, keep on scaling in and scaling out all the way up into my main TP. And the reason why I do it like this, instead of just letting price come here, and then still holding it and letting it come down and then not taking no profit out, because I look at it like this. There's going to be a point in time, and this is what helps me so much. It helps me like focus on the longer term part of the journey and be grateful for the journey and actually love the process and not be so caught up in like trying to rush things like I used to do in the past, which was why I blew so many accounts, right? But I look at it like this. There's going to be a point in time where I know I'm making like $250,000 trades, $1 million weeks and all that type of stuff like that. I know this is going to happen, right? And I put myself in those shoes as if I'm already there. So I look at it as, if I know that, let's say this overall position would be a, let's say $250,000, $250,000 position, or a, let's say $500,000 or $300,000 position. Let's just say that, right? I know that's going to happen. So I know that, let's say for example, if price were to come here, this would be probably what, 30 bands, 40 bands, let's just say 30 bands, right? Me being up 30 bands, I could literally let the rest of the trade run, close that 30 bands out, secure this 30 bands, and literally live my life. While this trade is not even nowhere near the main TP, which I know will be up here. Instead of me being like, oh, I'm gonna just let this 30 bands come all the way back down to break even. So I know that's gonna be the point in time that comes. So I'm going to treat it like that. So when it does happen, I'm already prepared, because I already got the reps in over and over and over again. The strategy stays the exact same. I could take this exact same setup 5 years from now. The only difference is I'm just going to be using bigger lot sizes. That's literally the only difference. The strategy itself doesn't change regardless if it's $10 in the account, $100 in the account, $1,000 in the account, $10,000 in the account, $100,000 in the account, $1 million in the account. Strategy is the exact same. The only thing that changes is the lot sizes. So I look at it like that, and when that opportunity when God does bless me with that opportunity and it does come, I'm gonna be ready for it, because I've been putting in the mental reps and the actual like physical reps, trading wise, and doing it, and also the spiritual reps, because that builds hope. Just like perfect. Let's look at Romans chapter 5 verse 3 to 4 right here. And not only so, but we glory in tribulations, also knowing that tribulation worketh patience, patience experience, and experience hope. Meaning, the more I have the patience, like the tribulations, obviously when you go through trials and stuff like that, and it works patience. So I'm building that patience, I'm working that patience, and with the patience I gain more experience. I become a better trader. I see the markets a lot clearer. I'm able to flow a lot clearer. And with the more that I'm able to become flowing better, that's not the word, in the more that I'm able to flow better, the more experience that I have, the more confidence that I have, and the more hope that I have that that $250,000 trade is going to come. Like, I'm putting in the work, I'm seeing the reps, I'm seeing it pay off, I'm confident, I'm building my confidence. So I have hope that it's going to come. So that means I'm going to have patience for it to come, and I'm going to have faith that it's going to happen. You see, like, trading, it correlates all to the Bible. Like, I like to correlate everything back to God everything back to putting my faith and trust in him. And that literally one thing has taken away so many. Obviously, I'm not perfect, still fall short sometimes. That has taken away so much of the mental battles and the psychological battles that I would face on the charts. It's just so beautiful. Like, it's literally so beautiful. So that's what I'm going to be looking at with gold. I'm going to see how this trade plays out throughout the rest of the week. I do not see price getting there today. There is some news that comes out like between today and tomorrow. The Jackson Hole Symposium. I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't really know like big in depth on what that is anyway. But that is like a big news event that's supposed to be today and tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Jerome Powell speaks tomorrow. I know that's going to be big. And I think there's like PMI or something else today, and like unemployment claims that comes out at 8:30 in a little bit. So that's another main reason why I wanted to definitely give my stop loss some breathing room just in case price does like have a wig down or whatever the case may be. To let my trade like actually flow. Like my stop loss is below this area to like give it some room to breathe. Like if price did have a wig down and it did this and then pull back up or whatever the case may be. So that is what I'm going to be looking at on gold. That is my thought process, and I will update it, as the weeks and days go on. If I gotta hold the trade over the weekend, I just gotta hold the trade over the weekend. I'm telling you, like, all it takes is just you to just be overconfident one time,
Mm-hmm.
and everything goes out the window. Like, you can have an account where, let's say you done flow with the account, you done won 20 trades in a row, good risk, boom, you done took that account up, good numbers. That one trade where you like, yo, hey, you was using point, let's say you was using point 0.05 lot size, not
Right.
even a point 0.5, 0.05s all the way up to it. And you like, I'm about to throw that standard up there. Boom,
Right.
drawdown, done.
Exactly. And I'm like, you're trying to teach me a lesson, aren't you?
Listen, that one, boom, done, and then literally all of that profit that you just made is basically like nothing. Like it's
Gone.
absolutely nothing. Gone,
Mm-hmm.
finito. I'm like, yo, that is the reason why I know that so much. That is, I want to say probably 90% of the accounts that I blown was because of that. It was rare.
Mm,
Like I was always good. Like me knowing how to build an account is nothing. Like even when I was first starting trading, like barely had any knowledge. I was building accounts. My issue was I would build that account and I would see the equity that I had and I got a little bit too confident and I would risk every single thing plus more in that one trade. And once I lose, all it took was one loss. Some people it
mm.
took them 2 or 3 losses to go into that
Nope.
spot. All I needed was one. One loss, and I'm yo, and then I started going up and down, up and down, up and down, and then I started getting into. I'd never forget it. I used to always do this. This was my biggest issue why I blew so many accounts. I would, let's say, make that little bit of an equity, right? And when I
Mm-hmm.
would lose all of that money, then I started using bigger lot sizes, trying to catch smaller moves just to make that back. So I would just like
Right.
use that standard lot size just to catch this little bit of a move, just to make a little bit quick to get out, a little bit of a move just to I was trying to like use those bigger lot size to try to catch it back up. But as soon as I enter with that bigger lot size, more drawdown. I'm like, all right, boom, and then blew the account. Now I got to start all over. That was the most biggest issue for me. Exactly. That's why I tell you guys, experience is the best teacher. It's easy, it's so easy for me to teach you. Yeah, this is what I went through and share my testimony and blah 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 blah. It's easy to teach that. But until you actually experience it hit different. Until you
Mm-hmm.
actually experience that money that you know that I done spent whatever the case may be, hours working up to get up this, and then you lose that in a period of time, not from you not knowing how to trade, from
No.
you not knowing how to manage yourself and manage your emotions and stuff, that is different. But the biggest thing is a lot of people always think that it's your strategy when it's not. I'm telling you, it's not the strategy. It's you. Because
Yes.
a lot of the times, what we would do is go on a losing streak that has nothing to do with the strategy. You can look at those 10 trades that you just lost in a row and actually go back and study and see. Let's like use my strategy, for example, because it's only three criterias, right? The market structure, candlesticks, and the support resistance. And let's say I lost 10 trades in a row, and I'm thinking it's my strategy. And instead of me actually stepping back to go really analyze that and accept it, because I would always like, nah, I didn't want to accept that it was me. I just want to say that it was a strategy. So I would immediately go to YouTube, looking up support resistant videos, going back to the courses, looking up candlesticks, regurgitating all this stuff and trying to switch things around. But if you actually really take the time to go back and look at your strategy and look at those 10 trades, you will see that probably like, let's say maybe eight of those, you go actually do the checklist. Wait a minute, this first trade. Okay, it was trading at an area of support resistance. Okay, I did get a candlestick, but the market is bearish, so why am I taking buys? Boom, that trade was invalid. So it wasn't the strategy. That was me. The second one, okay, well, price is at the area, price is bullish, but I entered before the candlestick closed. So that takes that out. Boom. Okay, price is bullish. Price gave me the candlestick, but it's not even trading at a key area. It's trading like essentially in the middle of nowhere. Duh, that's why I lost. Boom. And it's like you see that for the entirety of those like 10 trades, and only one of those was actually a valid setup. You can't blame it on the strategy, and that's why so many people switch strategies and switch it up. And that's why not even so many people. I like to talk about myself. I love to talk about my testimony and the things that I went through. That's why I used to always go back to video over and over and over again. Because like I say all the time, I learned technical analysis with literally within like less than a month. I learned candlesticks in like 2 days. Support and resistance was like a day. I learned technical analysis in literally basically like a week and how to put everything together and Fibonacci's and all that within my first month of trading. But going through those stages and stages and stages, I kept on, oh, I need to go back and rewatch support resistance videos. I need to go back and rewatch this. I need to go back and rewatch Fibonacci's. I'm doing something wrong with market structure. I used to always blame it on that. And in reality, that was never the case. I love these calls that we do, where we can come, where we can share our testimonies, because it's not just about trading. We get to talk about God here. We get to talk about like our own things that we go through. Because think about the conversation that me and you are having right now, Teresa, about like the accounts and stuff like that. Like you can't just have that conversation with, your best friend or, somebody that's close to you. They won't understand. They'll be like,
Yeah, most people aren't doing this.
yeah, most people aren't doing this. It's like we can relate to it, and it makes you see that you're not in this alone. So you don't feel like alone. You don't feel like, man, this is just like X, Y, and Z. You talk to other people, and it's like, yo, like it's so many sides of the stories that you can hear. You can hear the people that are going through the exact same thing that you are going through. You got people that are just getting started, so they didn't even go through that. And you can tell them about what you're going through, and it can help them not go through that. Then you got people that already went through it, and it gives you that, it shows you that, yo, okay, so it's possible to break free from it. It's possible to break this stronghold. It's possible to overcome it. And look okay, this is what happened when they was in that rut. I'm going through the same thing. Wow, look at how much their life changed from them getting out that rut. Okay, how did they get out that rut? Oh, boom, 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 boom. Let me try that. What is this? We have a inverted head and heading. We have an inverted head and shoulders. You can literally, it doesn't matter. It can be here or here. It's just the shoulder right here. This is the shoulder. This is the head. Hey, Emmanuel, here we go right here. Here go the inverted head and shoulders that I told you about, bro. That we talk about all the time when we do our calls. So inverted head and shoulders right here, boom. Inverted head and shoulders, Fibonacci, boom, 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 boom. More confluences, boom, 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 boom. Broke the trend line, boom. You got another Fibonacci from A to B to C, where the price come down to the 61.8. How many more confluences you need? How many more confluences you need to get into the trade? What else you need to see? Like, there's nothing more to see. Get into the trade, and let it flow. So, and then my main TP is going to be way, 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 way up here. This is a very big position. This would be a very, 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 very big position if this does play all the way out. Now, I did have a total of three positions that I entered all at the same spot because, for one, his entry was too beautiful. And my TPs are going to be, first TP is going to be here once price comes here, if price does come here, because price could create a double top and come down some more. Absolutely. If price does come up to here, then I will look to potentially take a position off the table depending on momentum. I will apply the trade management strategy at this TP. Even here, I'll look at it here as well. But if price does continue to go bullish, then I'll continue to hold the trades, especially if price like comes up here and it like creates like a higher low, I'll continue to hold them. But if price were to come here, give me those rejections, I'll close one of the trades, wait for price to give a retracement, scale back in, and then move my stop losses along with the trend and just flow with it all the way up into that 34,400 zone if that is the case for gold. All right, so I want to do like a vlog type of a style while I document this gold trade throughout the entirety of it. It is currently, since I made that like intro video of the actual analysis, it is currently 7 p.m. So I don't know how many hours later, almost 12 hours later maybe-ish, and I'm gonna flip the camera around in a second. But right now I am, let me see if it flips the actual, is it gonna show it the proper way? I don't know, but I am currently reading. I'm gonna just flip the camera. All right, and right here, I am currently in Proverbs yet again. Like, I have so many notes, like sharing this right here, like what so if discord means. Like, I have a whole bunch of notes when it comes to Proverbs. I've literally highlighted this entirety of Proverbs. I love Proverbs so much, so I'm gonna read this over again. It shouldn't take that long to read it. I really just want to read it, meditate it, get these words embedded in me. And then I'll probably go back to like Ezekiel or the story of Solomon. All right, so as you can see, let me actually go down to a 30-minute time frame real quick, what my entry was. All right, so as you can see, this is the position I'm in. I actually got in, I'm gonna go to a bigger time frame in a second, but I got in yesterday at around 7:30 in the morning, so it's currently 6 in the morning right now. So I've been in this trade for almost a day, and if I scale out a little bit, I have a much bigger TP in mind for gold if this buy is valid. Now, if it's not valid, then I'll take the loss, and it is what it is. But the risk to reward is so valid. It's so many confluences, especially what's going on with the economy, how weak the dollar is, how much stronger gold is over the long term. Like, maybe right now it may be retracing and stuff like that, but longer term gold is bullish. But I know that there is some news that comes out today. Jerome Powell is supposed to be speaking sometime later on, but I'll just monitor the trade throughout the day. I'm not really going to be looking on no lower time frames. Now, if price does start breaking above this area, then I can start looking to scale in more. But until then, I'm just going to hold these positions and just focus on the 4-hour time frame and just see what the market does over the next few hours. But other than that, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to I'm not really that tired. I'm gonna do a little bit more editing, do a little bit more reading and meditating on the word, and then in a couple of hours I'll get ready to head to the gym. So, quick update on gold. Gold has actually been flying recently. Whatever Jerome Powell was saying in that speech, he's going crazy. So, I think gold hit my first 2 TPs. I'm probably going to close a couple of positions and let the other ones run. Just because I'm like working out and gold is just shooting up, and I want to make sure that I actually secure some type of a profit. So, other than that, my guy. Get to it. All right, so quick little update on gold. As you can see, price has been shooting up. My entries were right here. These were my entries. What's today? Friday. I took these entries Thursday morning at 7 in the morning. And as you can see, once whatever Jerome Powell said pushed gold crazily up. And gold is essentially right here. This was my first TP, which was right here, and my second TP got hit. Now, this is the thought process. It is currently 2:06 p.m., right? In no reality am I going to give back all of this profit, because price could create a double top here and come all the way down, right? So what I'm going to do is I want to see how These next few candles start forming, because obviously at this point in time I'm going to have my stop loss below this area. So if price comes down here and stops me out, then I'm going to go ahead and get out the position. But I'm in the position of, am I going to hold over the weekend, or am I going to get out, or maybe close two of my positions, because I'm in a total of 3 positions, and let one of them run. So I'll really just see. All right, so nearing the end of this trade, a day and what, I don't know, 12 hours or almost 12 hours later, I'm about to close these trades right here. It is 4:32 p.m. and the market is about to reset here. Well, not reset, the market's about to close. But let me go to TradingView for a second. I'm gonna get out here soon, and this is the thought process of it. And I was in this trade since 7:30 in the morning yesterday, and price came down. I was in drawdown for a little bit. I still held firm to my analysis. I still understood market structure. This was just creating a higher low, and then once Jerome Powell started speaking, boom, price flew all the way up, blew past TP1 and went straight to TP2 and hit TP2. So that's 2 TPs hit, well, actually 3 TPs, because this was like the first TP as well, but price literally just flew past there. And the reason why I'm going to close is, if price was doing something like this type of a structure, I would have no issue holding. I would hold this because it's like price can come up lower high and I can keep on flowing with it. The thing is, price created one big push up, and for me personally, I wanted to scale into this trade. Now I'm super grateful that price did shoot up, and I was able to make this profit in that short amount of time. But I know that the reason why I like scaling in more, because if price were to actually do this and actually not do this big move and actually started like creating high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, like that type of stuff, I would have made more profit. Even though I made the profit in a quick time frame, I would have made more profit if price were to do this exact same move, creating higher highs and higher lows. Versus this one big move that, yes, I did make the profit, but if I would have scaled, because I would be scaling in, scaling out, scaling in, potentially holding trades longer, boom, boom. So I would have had multiple positions instead of 3 positions. I would have had maybe, who knows, maybe 6 or 7 positions all going in the same direction. So by the time price got to the same point, I would have a lot more profit as opposed to this. So that's why I like to scale in a lot more. But just looking at the structure, price then already made this big move. In no reality, I'm just going to sit here and just let price come all, especially with anything that happened over the weekend, and let just price come all the way down here. It's like I would rather take my profit, be grateful for this, and still look to get back in later on. Like once price eventually is going to create a higher low, and once it creates that higher low, I can still look to get in and scale up all the way up into the 3440s, which is going to be my main TP. Like catching this big move in literally 1 4-hour time frame, and that's just the beautiful part about it. Like literally, I have been essentially a little bit in profit in drawdown, like really roughly within this range for that first 24 hours and an extra 2 hours. So basically like 26 hours. 26 hours of me just barely being in profit a little bit, coming back down, me being in drawdown a little bit, break even, consolidating, and literally within 1 hour, basically 130 minute candlestick, which is this, but literally within 1 hour, all the way up here. Patience, holding a trade for a day and some change to literally hit TP and be in profit in literally 30 minutes. So I'm going to be super duper grateful for that. It is 4:36. I am going to go ahead and close these positions here pretty soon. So I am fully out of this go position now, and I really just want to call it a day, right? So that is it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this style of a content. Let me know if you have actually any questions, because I want to do a lot more Q&As as well, and I will catch you guys in the next one.